The Young and the Restless has fallen into a terrible pattern over the last few years of introducing one male antagonist after another to take on the great and powerful Victor Newman. Why is the pattern so terrible? 1. We've been trained to know that Victor will never lose. Can't. So these stories aren't suspenseful at all. 2. Even if one of these guys did get the best of Victor, it wouldn't resonate. What the big man needs is to be taken down by a bigger woman. As it is, both Young and Restless and Sister So Bold and Beautiful are suffering from female troubles. While the latter turns almost every woman into a character whose sole purpose is the getting of a man or the keeping of a man, the former keeps telling us that its leading ladies are strong and independent, and then having them accept jobs from their significant others. Even worse is what the show has done to Audra. Historically, Young and Restless has also gotten Victor into the appalling habit of weaponizing women like they were guns to be aimed at those that he dislikes. Remember when he gave unstable Patty Williams plastic surgery and turned her loose on Jack? Or when Victor allowed Jack to be kidnapped by the also unstable Kelly Andrews while he dropped a look-alike drug lord in Phyllis' bed? Unacceptable. But Young and Restless could start to move in the right direction by introducing a female tycoon who not only targets Victor's empire, but actually manages to take it from him. For decades, he's bragged that he's a self-made man, that he came up from nothing to become a titan of industry. Well, let's see him put his money where his mouth is. If he did it once, shouldn't he be able to do it again? This time, of course, Victor would be trying to rebuild rather than build, and with a new obstacle in his way, the woman who put him down and intends to keep him there. How satisfying would it be to see Victor toyed with the same merciless way that he so often has Jack and Billy and even his own children? Plus, head writer Josh Griffith loves making up new old characters, and he could do so again here. Let the woman in question be a former lover of Victor's. We'll call her Joyce Del Monte. She stood by him as he began climbing the corporate ladder, only to have him dump her for first wife Julia Newman when he decided he needed someone classier by his side. But Joyce was no dummy. She paid attention to Victor's moving and shaking, and left to her own devices, she did some of her own. Now she's back to do what her ex taught her, to take, no matter who it hurts, and then shrug off the misbehavior as simply business. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Jolie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. At the Abbott mansion, Diane comes down the stairs to Jack telling her they're not going out to dinner. There's been a change of plans. He's in a tux and hands her a martini. They toast. Jack kisses her hand and tells her he loves her. Jack goes on about how impressed he is about the remodel. He's grateful for everything she's done. He expresses his love again, and Diane returns the sentiment. She tells him the renovation was a gift. Jack tells her she's an Abbott through and through now. They kiss. Jack wants to make the most of this evening. They'll soon have a house full of Abbotts when Ashley and Tracy return to see the house. Diane balks. So soon? Jack asks, what's wrong? Diane just wasn't expecting them to be back so soon. Ashley doesn't pull any punches. Jack tries to reassure her. Diane wants them to love the changes as much as he does. She reminds him Billy thought that their father was gone from the home. It's the last thing she wanted. Jack insists it's beautiful. She came through in spades and honored their father's legacy. He told Billy that John Abbott is in their hearts. Everywhere we go is home, and none more beautiful than this home. He says Billy will be apologizing. Diane understands how important the house is to all of them. That's why she's worried what his sisters will think. Jack vows his sisters will applaud Diane's sense of style and taste. He wants to say something to her. There are times they take their unconditional love for each other for granted. To see it through her eyes, it's something rare. She's honored that love, and it's been eye-opening for him. He couldn't love her anymore if he wanted to. Diane plants a big kiss on him and asks a little favor. She doesn't want him to tell his sisters to go easy on her. She wants to know how they really feel. Jack tells her it doesn't matter what they say. She infused this house with warmth and love. It represents her now as much as him or anyone else. He sees great things ahead for their clan, and she's a foundational member. You are the most important abbot to me. They slow dance again, and Jack asks Diane if they could take some time off since things are so good at Jabat. Why don't we take that honeymoon we never had? Diane thinks that sounds amazing. He tells her they can go anywhere. This is for you. Diane replies, this is for us. They kiss. Diane thinks this is his best idea ever. We are so doing this. There's just one problem. How do they decide where to jet off to? Jack thinks they can go to multiple places. She thinks it sounds like heaven. He wants to give her heaven for the rest of their lives. They express their love and embrace. At the Newman ranch, Victor has champagne chilling and Nikki asks what's going on. He wants to start her birthday celebration early and mentions Clare asked him to help plan her party. They toast and Victor says, to my forever young, beautiful wife. Placing his hands on Nikki's shoulders, he says, I love you. Nikki had no idea he was planning this. Victor admits it's selfish. He loves to see her face when he surprises her. Nikki will never get tired of it. They go on about him and Clare planning the party of the decade. They sit and Nikki talks about how amazing Clare is. She gushes about her progress at work. She predicts a corner office for her future. Victor is very proud of her, but this evening is about her. Nikki teases about how many candles will be on her cake. Victor sees it as a celebration of her strength after all she's gone through. He admires it. They toast again, and then Victor puts on music for them to slow dance. After dancing, Nikki recalls the younger version of herself that fell head over heels for Victor. They were the best days of his life. Nikki marvels that they were so deeply in love, no one could ruin what they had. Victor wonders if this is a pitch for Clare and Kyle. Nikki says she shines when she mentions his name. Victor's convinced he'll break her heart, and he won't allow it. Nikki reminds him some had trepidation about them. Victor's sure Kyle will self-destruct and hurt their granddaughter. He's glad they're not moving in together. Nikki agrees they should slow things down. That's as far as her agreement goes, however. Nikki wants Clare to be happy, and if that's with Kyle, so be it. If they move in together, it's their decision and no one else's. That's all she'll say on the matter tonight. Victor pulls out a gift box and she gushes, "Ooh, an early birthday gift." They kiss. Nikki opens a locket with a photo of her, Victoria, and Clare, engraved, strength, courage, beauty. She will cherish it always. Victor puts it around her neck, and she tells him this is a wonderful beginning for her birthday. Nikki remembers when Victor introduced her to caviar. He always makes her feel special. Victor loves to celebrate her. She notes they've been through a lot, but are more in love than ever. Victor says they've survived it all. I love you. She loves him too. They recall when they met in the strip club. Victor was mesmerized. Nikki muses, and you were so mysterious and handsome. They express their love again, and Kiss Lauren enters the empty jazz lounge and waves at the piano player. She reads a note from Michael, "Let me remind you how much I love you." Michael appears and embraces her from behind. He says he adores her and kisses her neck. I love you, I love you, I love you. They kiss and Lauren tells him this is very romantic, whatever this is. He tells her this is a special evening for him to pamper her. He moves in for another kiss and Lauren stops him. She wants to know why he's doing this. She accuses him of trying to divert her from the fights they've been having over Victor. Lauren tells him he's amazing at sweeping her off her feet, but he'll have to work hard to make up for that infuriating loyalty to his boss. Michael thinks he'll surprise her. Lauren reminds Michael that she knows him better than anyone. He reminds her of the surprise he pulled off the night he proposed. She remembers the casino he set up. She made one of the biggest gambles of her life saying yes. It's paid off? So far. Michael recalls she was upset with him that night too. He couldn't open up. She taught him how to love. He asks to let the evening play out. Lauren will humor him. Michael's sure he'll surprise her tonight. But first, he goes over and makes her drink behind the bar. I bought out the club just for us. Lauren's charmed, but she won't let him distract her with smoke and mirrors. Michael promises they'll have a frank conversation, but they can do it with a warm ambience. He hands her a martini and the toast. Lauren gives Michael an A for effort. He proposes a toast to his scintillating, intelligent wife. Lauren tells him this is a lovely warm-up. Michael wants to dance, so they head to the dance floor, and he swings her around and kisses her cheek. She admits she's intrigued and can't wait to get to the surprise. Michael will start at the end and work his way back. He says, "I am sorry." Lauren appreciates his apology, but it doesn't change things. Michael wants to tell her a story. She's heard it before, lived it actually. Lauren grabs her drink. He reminds her of the first time he went to work for Victor. She recalls that he blackmailed him. Michael assures her it will all make sense when he finishes. They go over him being put in a Peruvian prison as Lauren rants about the things Victor has put him through. Now, he's asked him to betray his friends. Michael realizes he's been Victor's pawn all these years. He owes him a great deal, but he owes her more. He's been gambling with her trust and happiness. He won't lose that for not putting her first. Lauren gasps, "Are you ready to walk away from Victor?" Michael confirms he's going to break away for good. Lauren reminds him he's said this before and been pulled back in. Michael gives her his word. She is everything good, kind, and real in his life, and he was a fool to jeopardize that. They embrace as Lauren's eyes filled with tears. She admits this was the best surprise possible. They express their love and embrace. Lauren can't believe Michael will finally be free of that man and his chaos. She admits, however, that she's terrified as to how Victor will react when he tells him. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Claire Newman delayed moving in with Kyle Abbott. Using Victor Newman as a deflection meant that Claire retains questions about the speed of her first-time relationship. Claire was raised by a monster, her great-aunt Jordan Howard. But that villain is dead, and Erin's character is trying to move forward. Two bright parts of her new life that helped lift her out of the darkness Jordan injected are the realization of the Newman family and Kyle's love. However, Victor is adamant that his granddaughter has nothing to do with Kyle. He believes that Miller's character will break Claire's heart while not revealing that he's using Audra Charles to make that happen. Victor must believe that the quid pro quo arrangement he has with Audra will never be exposed. But this is daytime, and that means Claire is bound to eventually learn the truth. It's possible that Victor doesn't care if Claire learns about Audra's fake attempt to make a play for Kyle. Braden's character loathes Jack Abbott's son and does everything he can to prevent Claire from being with him. Adam Newman was recently told that he wouldn't sell his plush condo to Kyle and Claire. Adam bucked that directive, but that plot point is temporarily moot because Claire decided to punt. Claire remains hopeful that Victor will be persuadable, but everyone else knows that her grandfather will never come around to any Abbott family member beyond those he's already fond of, and Kyle is not on that list. As a side note, Summer Newman has a child with Kyle. Victor sees that as a reason Claire sets herself up for heartbreak. Putting Victor's amorality aside, he may be proven correct as time advances. Kyle did love Summer intensely for many years, and they were married twice. Summer also selflessly adopted Kyle's son and remains the leading woman Harrison Abbott sees as his mother, with his biological mother, Tara Locke, being in jail. One reason for Kyle's perceived arrogance and ill treatment of the women he's been involved with includes the volume of romantic attachments he's had through the years. Kyle has no problem attracting impressive women. His issue is sustaining meaningful relationships. Victor's assessment of Kyle: shared by one of the women he spurned, Audra, is that he's an entitled brat. Kyle dumped Summer because he didn't like that she withheld information about her mother's faked death. That was a weak excuse and felt like a plot vehicle used to split Mueller and Lanier's characters at the time. Kyle is willing to give Claire more time to deal with Victor. However, he likely will not let Claire allow Victor to call the shots indefinitely, and as viewers know, Summer wants to reconcile with Kyle. Amanda's return has been a sorely needed shot in the arm, not only for Young and Restless on the whole, but for the Aristotle-Dumas storyline, which has been dragging despite the bit of mystery surrounding a reclusive figure. As we finally head toward the big reveal, Michelle Morgan has dropped a couple of mini-bombs, one which all but confirms what we've long suspected about Dumas. Amanda's comeback has already included some entertaining run-ins with characters she shares history with in Genoa City. Devon was left deliciously rattled by her surprise appearance at a meeting that included Lily and Nate. So thrown for a loop was the billionaire that he actually accused Amanda of being Aristotle. Amused, his ex clarified that she merely represents the mystery mogul, before going on to perplex the Winters gang even more by telling them how much Dumas admires them and promising he wasn't after their company. Following up on that, Amanda shared a tense encounter with her old pal, Billy, and his new girlfriend, Sally. Billy wasn't happy about being given the runaround by Dumas, and Sally was left with a less than favorable impression of the lawyer. Making her rounds, Amanda next met up with her Genoa City bestie, Phyllis, but surprised the beleaguered redhead by confronting her about her attempt to get in contact with her buttoned-up boss. Unknowingly adding to her old friend's downward spiral, Amanda straight up informed Phyllis that Dumas was defo not interested in funding her pie-in-the-sky startup. Amanda is also set to cross paths with Abby, the woman who cheated with her man and then married him. While time may heal some wounds, we don't expect these two to make nice, which should mean some fun soapy scenes for us. But how long is Amanda staying, and who else might she interact with as the Dumas storyline plays out? In a recent chat with TV Watercooler, Morgan revealed that her alter ego just might end up at a fun event that would see Amanda interacting with too many of the cast to list. This has to be Nikki's upcoming birthday bash, which we presume will take place at the end of May. We can't help but think that Dumas finally revealing himself to all those in Genoa City, desperate to get the deets on him, will prove to be the biggest surprise of the night. Morgan also dropped another bomb when she confirmed that she has filmed scenes with Billy Flynn, the Days of Our Lives turned young and restless actor we've long suspected has been tapped to play the elusive Aristotle. If our hunch is correct, these little mini-bombs mean Billy Flynn will debut at Nikki's party and be revealed as Dumas. Having been a longtime viewer of The Young and the Restless, I have always been a fan of Michael and Lauren. Their relationship has had its ups and downs, but throughout all the hardships endured, they have loved and respected each other and have a varied shared history. Viewers have seen them try and overcome infidelities, personal struggles, as well as outside influences on their relationship. They are, without a doubt, the most real couple on The Young and the Restless. So, imagine my utter disbelief when Michael chose to side with Victor Newman, again, over his wife. Not only is it infuriating, but let's be real, when Michael goes and supports Victor, someone who has not only time and again put Lauren in dangerous situations over the years, but has also put all of Michael and hers hard work in jeopardy, how do you think he will regain her favor? Lauren is not just a tool for Victor to use on his agenda. This could easily be the breaking point for Michael and Lauren. Michael's loyalty to Victor is not new, but he crosses a line this time. Helping Victor launch an attack against Jack and Shabbat Cosmetics, without telling Lauren, puts Michael and his marriage at risk. To make matters worse, Lauren is completely blindsided. This is not just a little misunderstanding. This is about principles, integrity, and priority. Michael knows how close Lauren is to Diane, and he also knows that covert, secretive behavior is akin to betraying the trust a husband and wife share. Therefore, he knowingly keeps her in the dark and launches Victor's attack anyway. Watching Lauren confront him at the club in front of other diners is heartbreaking. You can see the hurt and anger in her body language. She is not just upset about what he has done, but because he cannot see how deeply it affects her as a person. When she begs him to pull back from the situation, he counters that he cannot. He dismisses her worries by saying he is involved in Victor's scheme to protect others and himself. But who is he really protecting? Victor, Jack, or himself? Frankly, it feels to me like Michael is already slipping into old habits that reveal who he prioritizes in the young and the restless. One of the many things I have admired about Lauren is her flexibility and patience. She has remained loyal to Michael through legal issues, family dramas, and other challenging decisions on the young and the restless. However, now it feels as if Lauren's patience is finally running out. I can feel the shift in their relationship dynamic, the kind of tension that lingers and can't be dissolved by one romantic evening, no matter how wholeheartedly Michael distracts her with his charm and affection. The distance that has developed is the same concern, the same worry, but has grown heavier over time. By the end of the week on The Young and the Restless, the writing is on the wall. Lauren is not only upset, but something has shifted. She is worried, and now with Victor adding to Michael's already overflowing plate, the stakes have changed. No one wants to be on the receiving end of Victor, and now that he is demanding things of Michael, the stakes for the latter are higher than ever. If Victor is making ultimatums, Michael is possibly going to have to choose between appeasing Victor and maintaining his marriage. I never thought I would say this, but I'm truly concerned that Michael and Lauren may not be able to come out the other side of The Young and the Restless with their relationship intact. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Amanda Sinclair has rocked Genoa City to its core with her unexpected return. Fans were gobsmacked to learn that Amanda is Aristotle Dumas' lawyer, thus her appearance at this time. During her first day back in town, she gave a lot of information, intentional or not, about her boss. Here's what to know as this story ramps up for May sweeps. During the May 16 episode, Amanda met with Lily Winters, Divin Hamilton Winters, and Nate Hastings. They were shocked to hear of her tie to Dumas and demanded answers. She didn't give away the farm, but she did drop some insightful statements that should have made the trio curious. For example, she told them exactly what Dumas thinks about each of them. This is striking compared to the fact that Dumas number 1, Damian Kane, has never met the man, even though he manages his companies. We can say the same for Kane's second in command, Holden Novak. Neither Holden nor Damian have ever exhibited the kind of insight into Dumas that Amanda has, and that should raise more red flags. Damian didn't even know about Amanda, and that should say something as well. Considering how close Amanda is to Dumas, it begs the question, is theirs more than a work relationship? Interestingly enough, Phyllis Summers reached out to Dumas during the week of May 12 to 16, and on the Monday, May 19 episode, Amanda confronted her on it. Amanda seemed sympathetic to her friend's plight and intimated that she might talk to Dumas for her. She offered no such favor to Nate, Lily, nor Devin. If indeed Amanda and Dumas are involved outside of work, it's easy to see why. The legal eagle is beautiful, smart, and reliable. What's not to like? Now it's your turn, my and our fans. Tell us what you think about Amanda's return. Does she have more going on with Dumas than she has let on? Maybe even marriage? And who do you think Dumas turns out to be? Lauren and Michael slipped up. The Who is Aristotle Dumas guessing game churns on. We've considered Kane, we've considered Amanda, we've considered Jill, and we've considered Jack. But on the May 21 episode of The Young and the Restless, Lauren and Michael brought up a name we haven't thought of in years, and made us wonder if he could be the mystery man we're all clamoring to see. For a while there, He was the big bad who made Victor cranky and Jack contentious. We're talking, of course, about Ashland Locke. He was the rich New York City mogul who raised Kyle's son for the first few years of Harrison's life, then married Victoria. A move Victor wholeheartedly approved of, until Ashland went against him. And then Victor claimed he'd never, ever, ever liked the man. You got that? Ashland was eventually killed by Nick, and the murder was, as all Newman crimes are, covered up by the family. So the end, right? Everybody knows death isn't personal on soaps. And if Ashland is Dumas, it would make sense why he is reaching out to Billy. Ashland would definitely want to take on Victor and Victoria, and he'll want to reclaim his son from the Abbotts. Billy is the key to bringing down Jack, since he's the biggest screw-up in the family. And once Jack is down, Kyle won't stand a chance. Sure, he can throw a tantrum, but that doesn't hold much sway outside of his newly redecorated living room. We've all been wondering where Tara is. Surely she must be out of jail by now. What if the reason she hasn't come back for Harrison is because she and Ashland are back together and plotting to set it up so that when they return to Genoa City, they can get back their boy, and a whole lot more besides? Audra is under suspicion. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, May 22 bring up ancient history Abby tried sweeping under the rug and pretending it never happened. But now Amanda is back in town and looking fabulous. Amanda was the lawyer who helped draw up the agreement that made Devon the sperm donor for Abby and Chance's baby. At the time, Abby and Devon were old friends, and Devon wasn't supposed to have any role in Dominic's life, or in Abby's. First, Devon sued for parental rights, and then he had sex with Abby all over his apartment, while she was married to Chance, and Devon was living with Amanda. Amanda walked in on them. It was her house after all, and she did not take it well. By which we mean, Amanda took it really, really well. She walked out on the cheater and told Devon and Abby they deserved each other. So now they're married, because neither could think of anything else to do. And Amanda is back in Genoa City, making Abby feel insecure. Good. Abby deserves all the feelings, including guilt and shame. The kicker is, Amanda couldn't care less about either her ex or his new wife, because she got the best end of that triangle, the one without either of them, or their little brat, in her life. Damien is plotting against Aristole Dumas. We think, with Lily, it's all very muddled and unclear. At the same time, Audra is plotting against Kyle. That, we're pretty sure of. Audra's plan is to keep it all a secret. But what will she do when the wrong person finds out? Audra and Kyle are engaged in a cat and mouse game, which will lead to plenty of heartache. It's game on for Audra and Kyle on The Young and the Restless. The former lovers are engaged in a battle of wits as they plot to trap each other. Both are smart business people and claim they know what they're doing. But who will come out the winner in this battle? There's no love lost between Audra and Kyle. Although the two once had a sizzling affair that ended when Kyle betrayed her in the boardroom. Thanks to Kyle, Audra was fired from her job at Glissade and has had trouble finding work since then. Victor wants to break up Kyle and Claire's relationship and enlists Audra's help. The businesswoman immediately begins putting her plan into motion. Audra brags to Kyle about her new cosmetics company Vibrant, which will be Jebut's biggest competition. Kyle is intrigued by Audra's company and wants to learn more. This will require him to spend more time with Audra, much to Claire's dismay. Kyle reassures Claire everything will be fine and to trust him. Lucy could help her dad and grandmother overcome their trauma. Both Daniel and Phyllis could rely on Lucy right now. They're lost and crumbling before our eyes on The Young and the Restless. It's high time for Lucy to return to Genoa City. Lucy returned in February 2023. She wanted her parents, Daniel and Heather, to get back together. Unfortunately, Heather died in a gruesome murder for which Sharon was charged. but it was Ian and Jordan who were responsible for Heather's murder. Lucy left Genoa City because she couldn't stand the pain that her mother's death caused. She couldn't understand why anyone would want to kill her mom. Daniel has felt lost ever since Heather died. He's trying to find himself again. He's not interested in working in the corporate world with his mother. Rather, Daniel wants to go back to playing guitar and wants Tessa's assistance. But what we would like to see is Daniel bonding with his daughter over their shared gift of music. It would be a great way for O'Brien to share her musical talent on the show since she's a musician in real life. Lucy lost her mother. She should be with her grandmother instead of away at school. Like Daniel, Phyllis has been feeling lost. She's been throwing herself into her work, especially after her kidnapping. Lucy should return to help Phyllis overcome her mental problems. There's no one better than her own granddaughter, whom she loves more than anything else. Phyllis isn't a damsel in distress who needs Nick's assistance. This would be an interesting storyline to explore. It would allow this family to heal their trauma while supporting one another. Plus, now is the perfect time since soaps tend to focus on the younger generation during the summer. Do you think Lucy should return to Genoa City? Let us know in the comments section. Victor&Nikki. The heart and soul of Y and R few couples have weathered as many storms as the great Victor Newman and Nikki. From the moment their eyes locked at the beige strip club in the early 80s, fans knew something electric had begun. Nikki, the bold and beautiful dancer, and Victor, the powerful and mysterious mogul, seemed like opposites on paper, but their chemistry was undeniable. Over the decades on Young and the Restless, they've endured betrayal, blackmail, addiction, illness, and even death. Yet, no matter what comes between them, Nictor always finds a way back to each other. Their love story isn't just about romance. It's about resilience. Through decades of breakups and makeups, their bond has evolved into something much deeper than passion. Nikki has grown from a naive young woman into a poised and powerful matriarch, while Victor has softened just enough to show his enduring love for her, even when he's scheming behind the scenes. Fans root for them not because they're perfect, but because they're perfectly imperfect, two flawed souls who still choose each other after all this time. Today, Nictor represents something rare in daytime television: longevity. While Genoa City continues to spin with scandal and secrets, Nikki and Victor provide a strong emotional anchor. Sure, they still clash, and yes, Victor will always have one more secret deal up his sleeve, but their commitment runs deeper than the drama. There's comfort in knowing that no matter how chaotic the world becomes, Nictor remains a constant. So, what's next for this iconic duo? Fans are buzzing with theories. Could retirement and a fresh start away from Newman Enterprises finally be in the cards? Or will Nikki rise even further in the corporate world while Victor quietly pulls the strings from behind the curtain? Will an illicit affair rock the super couple? Either way, don't expect them to fade into the background. With the return of familiar faces and new threats brewing, Nictor's next chapter could be one of their most powerful yet. Because in Genoa City, love is a battlefield, and Nictor has the scars to prove it.